This is the 4th and 1 podcast. You already knew that. We're coming to you live from Lancaster and, Leola and Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Had to specify. Let's go. It's your boy, AKA, with always, as always, from day one, he's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Captain Boring himself, Makai Schlicker. We're excited to be here. Or at least I am.
I am as well. It's good to see you again. You were on last week.
Time.
But
Actually,
you were here on time.
I was here first. You were the ones having technical difficulties this time.
I was late, absolutely.
I recorded a little something. It didn't go as well as I was hoping for, mostly because I didn't have anything to transition into after we started, besides obviously telling people to go like and subscribe. We'll always try to get you interacting. We love interacting with our fans and people and random haters online, telling them that your mom jokes in the shorts. I'm in a room with no AC, so I'm just going to get shinier as the pod goes.
Stick around, everybody. That's kind of hot, but this fall we're going to be doing some things to up engagement.
Attempting to, at least.
Attempting to up engagement.
We're going to do some giveaways. Still not exactly sure how they're going to be structured. It might just be one big one at the end of the year, in which case you have to listen to every single podcast and comment.
No, we're not. But another thing we have done is we have added a sideline reporter to our 4th and 1 podcast family.
Who's the sideline? This is news to me.
It is breaking news. The sideline reporter, his name is Carlos.
Oh, shout out Carlos.
Yeah, shout out Carlos.
Now that he has time.
And you will see Carlos on our Instagram page, 4th and 1 podcast.
Let's go.
You will see him on TikTok, 4th and 1 pod, and our YouTube channel as well. He will kind of be taking care of sports outside of college football and kind of just giving you what you need to know and kind of just doing little videos. He kind of has free reign, so we'll see how this goes.
Great. Love that.
He has free reign inside the bubble of sports.
Okay. Free reign inside the bubble of sports. We may or may not. Yeah, who knows? Who knows from a business side how this is going to go? You know,
it's
our unexistent business.
Our unexistent business is flourishing. We're adding new people all the time. All the time. Our company is growing and we are making $0 and 0 cents.
We're actually making technically because of Spotify buying Anchor and them getting rid of their direct contribution links. We are actually making less money now than we were when we started this. Shout out mom, per usual.
Shout out mom, per usual.
Per you, shout out mom.
No, you can't.
Didn't get that reference.
It's Hermione sticker.
No,
you can't.
Okay.
That is, according to my wife, that is an 8 out of 10 impression.
Well, it actually is a pretty good.
Thank you.
It's a 10 out of 10 reference. It's a 7.5, 7.8 impression, all things considered. Okay, is there anything really going? The biggest breaking news that I have is nothing to do with football. It has everything to do with college wrestling, which. The only reason it would be relevant here is because
I didn't realize these dimples are so big. Look at these.
It's not the only big thing you have.
Come on.
It has everything to do with NIL.
Okay.
And so I'm very interested to see how it develops. For those of you who care, Bo Bassett decommitted from Iowa. And is back on the board, which is a big deal in the wrestling world for those of you who care. I will give a shout out to my in-laws who absolutely love it. We're going to have to put something in the group chat later and see what their official comment is. The only reason I bring this up is because it definitely has to do with money and the fact that we have guys completely the fact that we have guys decommitting from big time programs because another big time program before it can even start, they're giving up on their word immediately, is something to be interested. I was thinking on the way home from work about how basically this must have been what people felt like when the Premier League first started. Where it was just a bunch of teams being like, we're redoing this. We're taking over from the English system. We're doing our own private thing. And this is how we're going to handle it. And just kind of the death of it. But, we're just starting on a very, very positive note, about as positive as I can be. Do you have any other breaking news? Because I'm trying to get me out of this tailspin of sadness.
The sadness. Okay. The only other, I'm just letting everyone know, I didn't hear a word he said. I was looking up the topic that I actually wanted to talk about. So
that's totally fine.
I hope what he said was good, and I either agree if it's agreeable or disagree if it's asinine what he just said. Wisconsin sued Miami. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about this?
That was the important thing that I should have been going on a rant
This
on.
is what I was trying to get to, and I was just like, I'm just going to let him talk because I was prepared, and then I had to restart my computer, and all my tabs didn't open back up.
Nice. Control-Shift-T, baby.
I did that, and it didn't work because I think it was a restart, and I shut the window. So anyway, it doesn't
Can't all be winners.
It's actually one of our most viewed clips on YouTube.
It is.
That piece of advice right there.
A technical video.
Yeah. That and your fun fact about the college.
Sydney Hampton College, yes.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. The University of Wisconsin filed a lawsuit last Friday, so that would have been the 20th, claiming that Miami football broke the law by tampering with a Wisconsin player. It's the first real lawsuit of its kind in an attempt to force the terms of a financial contract between the football player and the school. The lawsuit refers to the athlete in question as student athlete A, but details from, anyway, Lucas is his name.
We know who he is.
In the complaint on Friday, Wisconsin claims that a Miami staff member and a prominent alums met with Lucas and his family at a relative's home in Florida and offered him money to transfer shortly after Lucas signed a 2-year contract with the Badgers in December. He eventually, did he flip?
Don't know.
I'm reading. See, I would have had this all up.
You would have been prepared.
I think he did end up going to Miami.
Yeah, he went from
contracts between Wisconsin and their athletes.
Why they're suing him, Makai? They're not suing him for fun.
I think it's like they could be suing the school for trying to tamper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no one has time for that.
Contracts between Wisconsin and their athletes gives the school non-exclusive rights to use the players' NIL in promotion. Part of the deal, according to lawsuits, prohibit an athlete from making any commitments to enroll or play sports at other schools. The lawsuit said Wisconsin had reasonable expectation that Lucas would continue to participate as a member of the football program until the deal ended. So it does sound like he did flip. So anyway, thoughts on this? I guess first of it, more to come on this, but I also thought this is what that college sports collective was for.
You would think, or the
commission,
the thing handling punishment.
Yeah.
I would assume that's how this is going to start. I think it's kind of like Congress at this point. I think everything is kind of going to be handled in the courts at this point. No one's actually going to do anything about it because they don't feel like taking a stance on anything. Ask me how I feel about our federal government right now. But
I won't do that.
I don't. It's not that podcast. I think this is gonna how it's be.
This ain't that podcast.
I think this is just gonna be like, hey, we'll sue you, and if the courts say that our side wins, then okay, we need to hide tampering better because it's gonna keep happening. It's not like it's gonna stop happening. It's not like people are going to talk more. The question is how much and of what kind.
So this was the player, if you don't remember, Lucas left Wisconsin and enrolled at Miami in January after saying that the Badgers staff refused to enter his name in the transfer portal. You remember that athlete that this was that athlete where he had to decommit from Wisconsin instead of transferring. He had to physically leave the school and then just enroll at Miami. So it wasn't like a transfer portal thing because he is saying that Badger staff refused to enter his name in the transfer portal probably because of the contract situation. So this is just, again, this is the first of its kind, as you were sane, but I definitely thought that this was what this new college sports commission was for, to enforce things like this, unless this is how you get that process started, which is
that's my only thought process.
Suing, and then they get involved.
We're not insider enough. It also could just be only for like NIL infringement and not therefore, not and therefore not like tampering. So like there could be two different things there. I would think that this was what that was for, but I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point. I don't know enough. I'm just the funny guy, Micaiah. You and Robert are supposed to know everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is. However, they are wondering in this is SI.com, like Sports Illustrated, the Wisconsin part of that. They are wondering how the new College Sports Commission will respond, because
you and me both, brother.
I think a lot of their first couple rulings will seem really harsh, to kind of set a tone of stop messing around early or you're gonna find out.
You and I have you believe in humanity still. I have the type of day that does not have me believing in humanity.
No. I don't. I mean, I do believe in humanity. But like that's what I'm saying, is that I don't believe in them so much where this sports commission is going to have to lay down the law to wake some people up, at least for a little bit. Will then people try to find ways around? Absolutely. I heard on the college football podcast, and then we can move on to our game and over-unders. I heard on College Game Day podcast that a way you can get around going through NIL Go is you sign people as direct into personal contracts.
Like they said, this guy was signed to a 2-year contract.
Right, but not through the school. Everything through NIL Go is through the school. This you can do outside and just do contracts on the side, which you're not supposed to do anymore. And then if NIL Go shuts that down, then we have lawsuits about that. So this is going to just be wild.
Per usual, everything's
what a wild time to be alive.
Yeah, sure. That's what we can call it. Okay, one thing I did want to find interesting, we're still waiting on the Pac-12 to get a 8th member.
That is correct. They need 8 football-playing members. They have 8 members now.
Correct.
But they need...
Gonzaga does not play football.
Correct. So just have them start a football team?
Yes. The reason I bring this up is they actually finalized an agreement.
Honestly, should they just do that? Should they just be Gonzaga? We'll build you a football field.
I mean,
400 seats. It doesn't got to be a lot.
Texas State is the current favorite to join from the Conference USA, I think, or Fun Belt. I mean, that seems a lot easier as convincing another school to join their football.
It's going to happen soon, within the next week. It's going to happen by July 1st, because that's when the 2025-2026 season kicks off. Like, July 1st is the start of the new year for colleges, sports. I don't know how it works. Anyway, but that's the start date. So that's also when Texas's state's buyout to leave the Fun Belt goes from $5 to $10 million.
Yeah, so no, it's going to be Texas State. I agree with you. Why
so
would you
if
not
this
just
doesn't
build
happen,
a football program,
right.
But you also can't build a football program in the summer. That would be the worst football program on the history of the world.
Correct, but if Gonzaga's going to, you don't need them to be any good, because they're not going to be, because they're non-existent now, right?
Dude, imagine if they won like 3 games. I would follow Gonzaga football all year.
Honestly, Gonzaga football would have our follow, obviously.
100%.
And they actually would probably be able to foster a half-decent team.
I mean,
because of the transfer portal. You can just get all these kids. I mean, there's so many kids out there. You can literally just go get 150 kids if you wanted to. There's so many kids.
The support staff that you would need, because if they had like a rec or like a JV, you know how sometimes those colleges have like non-sanctioned teams.
Correct. Right.
maybe they have that sort of thing and there is some sort of, but like, I'm just imagine how much money you need in order to spend. I want it to happen now. You've convinced me by talking nothing whatsoever as I'm just staring here thinking.
Do you know what in our notes it just says the game? Do you know what that's about?
No, I haven't looked at our notes in
Okay,
months.
great. Well, glad I'm the only one doing
I'm
this.
assuming it has to do with the game that Robert has provided for
Well,
us.
I mean, I have that in there, but then it was the game.
Can I finish this?
Oh yeah, sure.
Interesting news. It's the Pac-12 finalized, who doesn't have 12 teams or even 10 teams. So they're not even the Pac-10. Finalized an agreement with CBS Sports to extend their media partnership. This is coming from Kyle, whoever, B at ESPN. Part of the deal, CBS will broadcast conference football and men's basketball championship games, which will also be streamed on Paramount Plus. Shout out, along with 3 regular season football and men's basketball games each season. Additional regular season games, as both shown, will be shown on the CBS Sports Network.
Oh, this is breaking news right now. When this happened?
This came out yesterday at 10:30 a.m.
I did not know this. So that is what Robert and I were contemplating, was holding up this 8-team joining. They wanted to see
financial
what the
terms of the agreement with CBS Sports were not disclosed.
Sounds like they're going to do a little bit from everything.
Texas State is listed here as the favorite to join. Yeah, I think that's interesting for CBS. They have the Big Ten, get some late games.
They have the Mountain West, I believe.
Do they as well? Which is half of them are going to join. They basically have the Mountain West twice.
Correct. So, it just kind of makes sense that you have Mountain West and Mountain West Light.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you could get going back to Gonzaga football, I think you could get a good D2 squad going,
Right off the bat?
Yeah. I think you could get enough transfers that, like, kids who want to start, that they could probably win D2.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it's a lot of money, though.
Listen, if I'm Pac 8, you know what they should do?
Talk.
I'm the Pac 7.
Yeah. 7.5.
I think they should tournament it. I think they should raffle it. I think they should be like, hey, D2 and D3 teams, we're gonna have a tournament at the end of the year, and you all can play each other for a spot.
Yeah.
Free spot. You get money. Free spot. I think, that would bring some these are just ideas. They're free ideas.
Isn't there a D3 school that, like, ran D3 football so much that they kicked them out of D3 or something like that?
That sounds...
A college in Minnesota.
Or
maybe.
Massachusetts. College that...
Was it the college that Kalen DeBoer was actually at? Sioux Falls? Was it Sioux Falls? No, that doesn't sound right.
Maybe, and DeBoer. Sorry, I was thinking...
No, I mean, he did coach at Sioux... But anyway, just go get that one. To your point, like, okay, like, they're fine. I mean, yeah, the conference... every game, I mean, it would be 58-0. But it's a starting point, I guess. I still think the transfer portal is big enough.
Yeah, probably.
Are you looking that team up? You're trying to? Can't find anything?
I mean, this is all, which is kind of sad. Multiple, of all places, Pennsylvania colleges are cutting athletic programs completely. So St. Francis, they just had a division, I guess they just had a Final Four appearance. Like St. Francis and is reclassifying from Division 1 to Division 3.
Oh,
all
in
sports.
What? In all sports. Okay.
In all sports.
A Final Four appearance in what?
I'm assuming in basketball.
I mean, no.
Okay, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
University of St. Thomas.
Is that what you're thinking of?
In 2019 was kicked out of the MEAC, a Division III league. This was due to perceived competitive dominance. St. Thomas eventually invited to join the Division I Summit League, but this sounds like it was just... Oh no, this is football.
Yeah, they're the Pioneer League, which is kind of
Yeah, so go get them.
That's
expand to the Midwest.
100%. Yeah, they just they weren't in the. They didn't play for 2 years. How did that work?
They just didn't have a football program for 2 years?
I'll read up on it.
Okay.
I think it's probably time to like move,
get into our stuff. You will,
because it's kind of important. As I try to find my
okay.
transition buttons.
I already hit it. Yeah,
I didn't hear it.
Oh, well, I hit it.
Are you on preview, not live? Are we having more technical difficulties?
I sure am. I'm on preview, so good job.
Did you hear mine?
I sure did, yeah.
Then mine was on live. I didn't hear mine, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Listen, okay. So we're putting together an all 4th-and-1 team.
Yes, we are.
Are we doing defense? Did we figure that out?
I don't know. It's Robert's game.
Okay, but we got to get who was our quarterback?
Garrett Nussmeier.
The Nuss man?
At least I'm pretty sure.
Bussin' Nussmeier?
Yeah, but okay. Bussin' Nussmeier. Let's go. New nickname.
Okay, he's our starting quarterback. We did this game. It's a game of kiss, marry, kill in order to figure out who's doing what and when. Yep. We're looking for 2 running backs today, correct?
Yes, okay. We are picking a starting running back, and then we are going to pick up RB2.
Okay.
No, so what we're going to do is we're going to go every other like we did.
No. I'm giving them all to you because you actually know who half of these guys are, and I don't know.
Well, that's no fun.
Well, you know what, Makai? This is my job as the producer. You're the talent. I produce you.
But it's fun. I mean, you know most of these names.
No, I don't.
Literally. I don't even know. If I'm being totally honest, I don't even know some of these names.
Is it C.J. Donaldson?
No, I know him.
Is it Justin Hayes, who I should know?
I do know.
Ahmad Hardley.
I don't know Ahmad Hardy or Isaac Brown.
Yeah, that one was.
And I don't know Desmond Reed.
Great name. Pitt prospect himself. So Makai is not going to figure this out. I will on the go. So here we go. This is I don't have my sorry mom pulled up because I don't want to call this by. It's maybe you heard that. Maybe you didn't.
I did hear that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
it's
you're
fuck,
good.
marry, kill.
Okay.
But in this case, it's bench, sit, cut, start. Very simple game. We're going to start.
Sorry, go ahead.
With probably the easiest one here, at least for me. And that's Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame, Desmond Reed, and C.J. Baxter out of Texas. Pitt and Texas, respectfully. Makai is going to Google. I'm going to fill in until he looks ready. This is to me, this is cut and dry. There's a prospect here who should have gone to the league, but it was a very running back heavy draft.
So you also have to keep track of.
I'm there.
Of who's the backup, because we have to pick then from the group of backups. Okay?
Correct. We're going to pick from the group of sitters.
Okay, so I just found Desmond Reed. He had 966 yards last year, and is this column touchdowns? And 5 touchdowns on the year. So he was a 1,000-yard rusher. He actually was 18 yards ahead of Khalil Mullings on the season.
Oh, hey,
Khalil Mullings, it was literally the guy right behind him. Okay. So I'm just going to start this thing off with a real easy one. I love the way Jeremiah Love runs the football. I think he can stay healthy throughout the year on that line. So I'm going to start Jeremiah Love. And then I'm just going to look up CJ Baxter real quick. I don't think it was his backfield last year.
At Texas? No, that was Jordan Blue.
So,
how do I know this?
He was there last year.
That one, when you Google it, is when you're going to find out. So
I don't think he did a whole lot.
Robert, listen, I know you're going to be listening to this and texting us. You need to text me at this point. Can you just put this thing in the dock that I haven't opened for 6 months? Make my life much easier.
So anyway, I'm actually gonna go with Desmond Reed because CJ Baxter, this is like his first time full starting game. So I'm gonna go Jeremiah Love starting, Desmond Reed backup, benching, and I'm cutting CJ Baxter.
Okay, that's a smart BU. Okay, that's a smart pick. I don't disagree with that at all. We're gonna move down, and again, this is another one that's super easy for me. Wait, oh no, I thought he transferred. We got Katron Allen up at PSU. One of the two of that really lightning backfield that they have now. C.J. Donaldson, they really need to win at Penn State this year. or Dylan Edwards?
So I'm going to start Katron Allen.
Yeah, that's
easy.
an easy.
I think Katron Allen, between him and Singleton, as Singleton gets all the hype, I think Allen's the better back. I really do. CJ Donaldson transferred from West Virginia to Ohio State.
Ah, okay.
And then Dylan Edwards is at K-State, and he was he actually had like 75 attempts, I saw, and almost the same amount of yardage as CJ Donaldson did.
Almost like Robert actually.
So 74 attempts and 546 yards. I am going to take those CJ Donaldson because he was a 1,000-yard rusher 2 years ago. Now he's behind a much better offensive line there at Ohio State, and he's a senior, I would presume, because he was at West Virginia for at least 2 years. The question
is, how many years of a senior is he? Not,
right.
Anything else.
That's the real question.
So you're starting Katron, you're sitting CJ, and you're
benching Dylan.
Catching Dylan. All right, we got Justin Hayes.
Justice
Hayes. I apologize, Justin.
You just did it.
I know.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I apologize, Justice. Ahmad, I'm assuming. Apologies again. I'm not good with names. This is a thing on this podcast.
1,300 yard rusher for UNLV last year. Just found that out myself.
Oh, very nice.
Transferred to Missouri.
Hardy, he's at Missouri. Yeah, that's his last name. And then Isaac Brown at Louisville.
Isaac Brown was 24, 1,100 yards last year. What did Hayes end up doing?
He came in as not much. To me, this is an easy. UL Monroe is where he transferred from.
I'm gonna start Amon Hardy because Hayes. I don't think he got a lot of. I think he got some work last year, but not a lot.
Was Isaac at Louisville last year?
Yes.
You're taking a transfer over the incumbent starter.
Yeah, because Jeff Brom throws the ball a lot.
He likes to throw the bean, flick the bean.
Yeah, he likes to flick that bean. So I'm gonna do Ahmad Hardy.
Okay, interesting.
And choice. Then I'm gonna do Isaac Brown because Justice Hay, like, Michigan keeps their running backs fresh, but he looked good in the spring game. But I've been fooled by spring game running backs before. So
here we are. That's what we do. We'll find out. Watch him go for like 1,500 yards. Nick Singleton, as his friends know him. Mekhi Hughes, Oregon, and Nate Frazier at Georgia.
Well, I don't know why he wasn't coming up because he went for 1,200 yards. Oh wait, what?
This is Mekhi.
No, this is Hayes. I have no idea.
We're still on the last group. That's what's going on.
Because I think Robert gave us the wrong person.
No, he would put a Michigan. He'd put a bro on there. What?
Because Robert gave us the wrong person.
Who did he give us?
He gave us Justice Hayes, who was a Michigan running back.
Yeah.
It's Justin Haynes.
So was it Justin?
No, that's still Justice Haynes.
Okay.
And he ran for 400, just about 450 last year.
You're still cutting him.
Yeah, I'm still cutting him.
Yeah, okay. So we just had dead air because you wanted to confirm a dude.
No, because I wanted to let Robert know that he has the wrong name.
He's not as good. I fluffed him up earlier. You're bringing him back down.
Right.
This is a real. We're sending him mixed.
But yes, we had dead air. But back to your.
Okay, Nick Singleton.
Yep. I'm starting Nick Singleton. I'm cutting Mekhi Hughes, and I'm benching Nate Frazier.
Interesting choice.
Better?
Okay. Here's the issue that we
Faster?
have going on. No, that was great. I don't even know who Nate Frazier is.
Georgia running back.
Wait. Who are you cutting? Mekhi Hughes? Didn't he have a great season last year?
Yes, he did.
So why are you cutting him?
Why am I? Because keep things spicy. I don't know. Because I panicked. Because I gave dead air, so I'm making up for lost time.
Oh, that's not how dead air works, bro. You gotta go right back into it at your standard pace.
Well, then more dead air it will be.
I assumed you were gonna Google it. I can fill in the dead air with just absolute.
Because he is. Last year he was a freshman and he ran for 671 and 8 touchdowns.
That's like being.
And so now he'll be a sophomore, probably the go-to back in that system.
And so you're cutting him.
No, he's my backup.
I'm cutting.
No, that's Nate Frazier.
Oh, I thought Mekhi Hughes was a returning starter as well.
Well, no. Mekhi Hughes played for
transfer
Tulane last year. He's now with Oregon, according to Robert.
So a school that's known for turning out really good running back products.
I mean, not NFL running backs.
Yeah. If it wasn't for freaking Tony Pollard, yeah.
I don't think Tony Pollard went to Oregon.
No, Tulane, numbnuts. You're taking a guy who put a really good season together for Tulane.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dude on YouTube. I don't even know what his initials are. He writes a Tulane piece every year. He went to Tulane and he's a fanboy. And who's the backup in Tennessee for the Titans right now? He was also a real good get, an exciting prospect out of Tulane. And so you're taking
Oregon's system also just doesn't use it doesn't have a.
I get
it's
it.
It's like the Michigan system, right? It rotates running backs.
Okay. Nate Frazier. Okay, so here's the situation.
Yeah.
I got 4 and 4.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you your weakest one with 2 backups.
Okay.
And then frick. So start Love. Yeah. Start so
my
Jordan
starters.
Love,
yep.
Katron Allen,
yep.
or Desmond Reed. Those are the 3 that I'm going to give you.
Desmond Reed was the backup.
Yep, I know.
Okay. All right. So then I am going to start Katron Allen.
Okay. We're going to pick Jordan Love,
Jeremiah
Love, sorry. Jordan is the quarterback. I'm kind of doing this on the fly, so just bear with me. So we're gonna get rid of the backup. What is his last name?
So then it would be between Ahmad Hardy and Nicholas Singleton.
So Ahmad Hardy,
yeah,
C.J. Donaldson, or Isaac Brown. Sorry, I gave you 2 backups and a starter.
Wait, and who was the starter? Singleton?
No, Ahmad. I didn't give you Singleton yet. I have 4 names, so I can make you cut 2. Would you rather do this? Here, how about this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
We'll do this. Again, we're butchering this, but that's what we do here. It's the worst podcast on the internet.
It is. We market ourselves as such.
Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do 2 cuts. The benched player gets to go in with the backups.
Okay.
He gets to fight another day.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jeremiah Love,
yeah.
Katron Allen, Ahmad Hardy, Nick Singleton.
Okay.
Cut 2. Bench 1, start the other.
I'm going to say Katron Allen.
Okay, so that's your starter.
Yeah. And then I'm going to back up Jeremiah Love.
Going to back up Love. Okay, so bye-bye Nick Singleton, bye-bye Ahmad Hardy. Okay, so now...
Give me all my backups.
I'm going to give you all your backups.
Yep.
Desmond Reed, C.J. Donaldson, Isaac Brown, Nate Frazier.
I'm going to go with...
This is cut 2 of them.
Yeah.
Give me 2 others. Start 2.
Yeah, I'm going to start Desmond Reed and C.J. Donaldson.
Okay, so last and certainly not least, back to regular. Start, cut.
I'm going to cut... Oh, it's back to regular, but there's 4 of them. Back to regular,
but there's 3.
Okay.
Jeremiah Love, Desmond Reed, C.J. Donaldson.
I love Desmond Reed. I'm going to start Jeremiah Love, bench Desmond Reed, cut C.J. Donaldson.
Yikes. That's rough. All right, so 2 starters in our all team is Katron Allen and Jeremiah Love, with a 3rd Desmond Reed, with a bench player Desmond Reed. We had a fun time getting there. You know, it's not necessarily the results. It's the friends we made along the way.
It was real bad.
Listen, Robert didn't do it any better last week.
I mean, at least he was able to keep things organized.
Again, I just kind of flew.
See how I would have done it is you choose your starters.
Yeah.
And then you should have given me those 4 like you did. And then I just choose 1 to be the starter. And then you give me the 4 backups and I choose 1 to be the backup.
I mean, you kind of did do that. We just had a different way of getting it.
You did that with extra steps. But no, but that's no fun because Jeremiah Love was in the starter category. So I'm going to put Desmond Reed in there.
All right, fine. Put Desmond Reed in there.
All right.
You're dumb for not choosing Jeremiah Love to begin with. The dude's going to be a number 1 draft pick next year unless he tears his ACL.
I think Katron Allen could as well.
They're both going to be. Probably Nick Singleton is for just kicks and giggles too.
Hit your transition.
I wasn't going to transition. I was just going to yell at you more for being a dumb little idiot who stretches too much. I saw Duke there, by the way. All right. I don't know what conference we're doing, but to have a little bit more fun.
And maybe more organized. Maybe I should do it.
We're doing shut the blank up and let me talk. Okay. For once in your life.
All right.
We get it, your mom's favorite. Let me have this.
Thanks.
We're doing conferences over under win totals instead of breaking it down. This will be our fun way of previewing each conference. I'm assuming Micaiah has a conference in his head. I have the over-unders ready to go because I am prepared. He just has to tell me the conference we're going to start with.
I also have the over-unders of every team in the conference.
You can't let me have one thing?
Well, I'm here. You can look up the schedules of the teams.
No one remembers those.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say for us to like count, like, oh, I need to see who they're playing to say if, okay, let's just start right. Let's start off the top.
So who do you want for what conference are we starting with?
We're going to do the Big 12.
Okay. Interesting choice. Mostly because I don't know where they are on this list. Not that it matters. I'm assuming there they are. Okay. So are we going to go alphabetical? Start with Arizona?
I mean, we can. However, we're going to start at the bottom because I was seeing what ChatGPT could do for me. So we're going to start with West Virginia.
Okay.
The over-under is 5.5. I believe, yes, Rich Rod is back in town. New quarterback, new running back, the whole 9 yards. But Rich Rod is back in town. Over-under is 5.5. Their non-conference isn't terrible. Their non-conference is Robert Morris, Ohio, and the Backyard Brawl, which is Pittsburgh. And then they have Big 12 teams, and if you want me to read those, I will.
Fun fact, Robert Morris is also a Backyard Brawl. It's actually closer. Oh, Pittsburgh, not PSU. I'm sorry. Backyard Brawl is Pittsburgh. I said PSU. I apologize.
Yeah, you should. All right. So over under 5.5.
You're the analyst here. I don't know. I think over, but like,
well,
I don't know the rest.
You have to at least try.
I mean, they're gonna beat Robert Morris. Who was their other non-conference game?
Ohio. Not Ohio State,
they're
Ohio.
They're going to beat Ohio. Yes, they've been good in the MAC, but they're going to beat Ohio. The question is, can they beat the Pitt, who's everyone loves for some reason right now?
I don't think they're beating Pittsburgh.
And then the question is, who do they get in the Big 12?
They get Kansas, Utah, UCF, TCU, Houston, Colorado, Arizona State, and Texas Tech.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under on that one. I didn't realize how good most of these teams were.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm also going to go under. I'm not real seeing where. First of all, I just want to know that no one is higher than 8.5.
Whoa.
To
be fair, there was a ton of parity in the Big 12 last year. It was the most fun conference to watch for sure.
So,
if you're a football fan.
So I'm also going to go under with West Virginia. So, man, just write somewhere in the doc. Just write West Virginia under because I just want to keep track of all these.
You want to keep track. Okay.
Yeah, I don't need the actual number, but I might actually want to like place some wagers if I like them. So just
sure.
somewhere. Okay. The second team is OK State. They are also at 5.5. I am pulling up their schedule now. They get UT Martin, then they're at Oregon week 2 and Tulsa, which is the Turnpike Classic. So Oregon's a loss. I will give them UT Martin and Tulsa. Then they Baylor at Arizona, Houston, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, Kansas. They get both Kansas's 5.5. Let me see where they 1, 2. Problem is, I expected OK State to be real good last year, and they were not.
Which probably means they're going to have a bounce back here. This is not in reverse alphabetical order yet.
5.
Idiot.
Yeah, I'm going to go over with Oklahoma State.
What was their over-under?
5.5.
Oh, we went Oklahoma State? That's not reverse alphabetical order.
No, this is from worst over-under to most over-under.
You make my life extremely difficult.
Why do you want them in alphabetical order?
Because that's how they were on my list. And I'm trying to produce and do things. So you're doing OK State over.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your next team, Micaiah? Because I don't have that list in front of me. I was trying to present you the reverse alphabetical list in order so we could have some back and forth. But now this is just Micaiah Schlicker's show. This is Captain Boring's show because he's so special. And so here we are. And so you get to do things by yourself because my computer sucks.
Well,
and I'm
what do you mean?
I spit out a list.
I have all the lists here.
Congratulations, but that means I get to do what? You want me to answer? I'm not the analyst. I don't know what these teams are doing this year. I've been getting ready for a kid and I've been fixing the house. I haven't been paying attention. I'm just
neither have I.
This is apparently sweating my ass off.
This is
all room that I need to put an air conditioner in if I'm going to do this again.
This is all new information to me as well. We're learning together. We're along for this ride together. It is you and me. We are like this. It's okay. Take a sip of your water. Take a sip of your water. It's all right. We're together, hand in hand.
I wouldn't go that far,
Houston is next, okay? Houston's over-under is 5.5.
Who's their coach?
Their coach was the old Tulane coach. He was there last year. I don't know how many games.
Fritz or whatever his name is?
Yes.
I think.
How?
Did I get that right?
Yes, I think you did.
Let's go.
Houston, Willie Fritz. Oh my God, they finished 4-8 last year as well. So in their non-conference, they get Stephen F. Austin, they get Rice, and they get Oregon State. They threw Colorado in there before Oregon State. So I am a big believer in Willie Fritz. Their over/unders only 5.5. I'm gonna say they beat Robert. Oh. That's the wrong list. I'm saying they beat Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, there we go.
And Rice.
Yep.
And Oregon State.
You think they beat Oregon State?
Yeah, I think they go all through the non-con. They get Colorado at home, and I think that they're going to surprise some people. So they're also at 5.5. I say they make a bowl game at 6. 6 wins. Split the schedule. 6. Give me the over.
I'm very interested in where ChatGPT gave me for over-unders because Houston is they have 6.5.
Do I know how to read?
Yeah, you do. It's okay. Definitely. I'm interested in. I'm doing the whole thing. So you're taking the over at 6.
Well, this is all win totals sourced of FanDuel. So this is FanDuel, according to ChatGPT.
Yeah, you're good. So what was
5.5? I'm taking the over. I think Willie Fritz is a bowl game.
I like Houston too. I don't know about that Oregon State game. I don't know how Texas Tech is going to look this year. They were somewhat convincing last year. He's taking the over. I'm taking the under just to be different, but I think I would trust again. We've just had this thing. Take Micaiah. Take his word more than mine. All right, who you got next, bro?
I have Arizona. Arizona is, oh my gosh, here we go. Arizona is also sitting at 5.5.
Over under?
Yeah.
Arizona with the returning quarterback, current favorite, with a non-conference game that includes Hawaii Weber State.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they weren't great last year. They weren't great last year, which I think came as a shock because their coach went to Washington. So they were also 4-8. They lost T-Mac, their big time wide receiver. It was a significant drop from the year prior, which was 10-3. They did really, really bad in conference, 2-7 in conference. So they did win 2 out of 3 non-conferences. But yes, Hawaii, I'm going to say they get Hawaii, they get Weber State. I don't think they get Kansas State, Iowa State. I don't even think Oklahoma State. I don't think they get Houston. I think they get Cincinnati, TCU, maybe West Virginia, not Baylor, not Arizona State. So what is that, 1,
You're really high on Baylor right now, huh?
Higher than Arizona, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's easier to replace a wide receiver than it is to replace a quarterback.
I'm gonna go 5. I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go 5 wins.
I'm gonna go over. And what were they last year? 5-7?
4-8.
Yeah, I think they're a bowl game at least. But you're going to go under?
Yeah, I'm gonna go only.
Hey, listen, man. You do
I'm
you,
trying.
boo-boo.
I'm trying. Brent Brennan. Oh yeah, he came from Arizona State.
Did they get a new coach this year too?
No.
Oh, they just got the.
Yeah,
okay.
He was there last year. Okay.
You're taking the under.
Next
Perfect.
is UCF, and UCF is one of 4 teams. It is UCF, TCU, Colorado, Cincinnati, all at 6.5.
Okay, interesting about UCF. We get Jacksonville State, who just lost Rich Rod. That's their opening game. That might be week 0 because that's 8/28.
Yep, that would be week 0.
North Carolina A&T,
okay,
HBCU school.
So 2 wins,
and then Bill Belichick's North Carolina. This is probably going to be North Carolina's first real test.
Oh, but UCF got a new offensive coordinator. They got Gus Malzahn to be their offensive coordinator.
Where did he leave from?
Nope, Gus Malzahn is the head coach there. Gosh darn it.
Scott Frost went back there? No,
That's
Gus is Scott there? No, I thought Scott. I think you have the roles reversed there. UCF, Golden.
Okay, so this is how confusing it is. I think Gus Malzahn is at Florida State.
He is now. He's their offensive coordinator. Correct.
Okay. He was the head coach at UCF.
Correct.
Scott Frost is back at UCF as a head coach. That's how everything connects.
They have their favorite. They're undisputed to them 2019 national championship under Scott Frost. And I want to confirm that he is in fact an offensive coordinator at Florida State. Correct. Yes.
Okay. So UCF, I'm gonna go under. Scott Frost, history at Nebraska. First year back, history at Nebraska. Last time he was there in first year, I think they won maybe 2 games. So I'm gonna go the under for the UCF. Let's pick things up, pick up the pace just a tad. TCU and Colorado.
So both of them combined. TCU, North Carolina. That's again a week like 0 8:30 game. Abilene Christian, SMU.
And who is that?
That's TCU.
That's TCU. Okay. That's Labor Day night. And then Colorado gets Georgia Tech, Delaware, and Wyoming. So much easier. I think Shadur Sander, what were Colorado last year? I think they were 8-4,
something
I believe.
Like that. Yeah.
Okay. So right around there. So I do think they take a step back. I'm going to hit the under. I think they make a bowl game, but I don't think they hit the over. I think they win about 6 games because I think that Georgia Tech gets some. And I think they do beat Wyoming and Delaware, but I think their conference schedule is pretty hard.
It is. They have a break, but BYU, good BYU team, having a returning starter there. TCU, speak of the devil. Iowa State, Utah, Arizona.
It's home away, home away, home away. It's every other. They have no back-to-back home games.
No, Georgia Tech, Delaware. Then it's home, away, 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 away. Are those all their conference games? Those are all their conference games. So home.
Yeah.
No, Wyoming and BYU are back-to-back.
Are only back-to-back, and then it's at TCU.
Yeah, home away repeatedly.
So I'm gonna go 6. They go 500. 500.
Yeah, again, they
they
don't know what their quarterback situation is there. They have the pretty good transfer from Liberty. Then they have this other guy that they're starting there. No one knows what's going on. But I agree. I don't think Deion's going to coach a less than bowl team. Let's put it that way. If not, that's if he comes back. Do we know if he's healthy yet?
Who? Deion?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything on that.
So is that the over, Micaiah, you're taking?
I'm taking the under.
And you're taking the under, and then TCU.
I'm going to take the over. They won 9 games last year.
Quiet, sneaky 9.
They get at North Carolina. I think Bill Belichick's still trying to figure things out.
Or his girlfriend.
Just on the football field, the team. So I think TCU, veteran coach, college coach, walks into Chapel Hill, beats them. And then I think they beat Abilene Christian. SMU is going to be a fun game to watch. And SMU is an ACC game.
Correct.
Even though they should be in the Big 12 together. That hurts my brain. And then they are they do have 2 home games at the end of the season, BYU and Houston, but every game outside of that,
2 away games.
Or I'm sorry, 2 away games.
Yep.
Correct me. Are BYU and Houston. Every other game is home away, home away, home away, just like Colorado. So that is very interesting. I am going to go the over though on 6.5. I don't know if you're Sonny Dykes, if you can keep having this really good season, bad season, good season, bad season sort of deal. So I think
that's all you can ask for. Do you know if their quarterback's returning?
I'm looking that now.
Sorry, making you do stuff.
Nope, you're good because it's already up. So ChatGPT just rolls it out. So Josh Hoover started some games last season. Yes. 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
4,000 yards total?
Yeah. Passing yards? Like this?
4,000 passing yards last year?
Yeah. It TCU single season record, actually. Speaking
That's insane. I didn't know they were an air raid system.
Yeah, Sonny Dykes. That's what he does.
Lord.
So I'm gonna go.
He throws the ball.
I'm gonna go way over.
He just throws the ball.
I'm going to go way over.
That's probably a championship contender. For sure. If you know that. Yeah. Who knows? All right, who you got next?
Next, after TCU, I'm scrolling up. A lot farther. After TCU and Colorado, did we do Cincinnati?
We did not do the Bearcats.
Let's do Cincinnati.
Nebraska, KC. Oh, that game is in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay. Bowling Green, Northwestern State. The other 2 games are at home. So we'll see if Robert's Lord and Savior Dylan Raiola, how he's going to do that first weekend. And then at Kansas, and then home at Iowa State, home against UCF, home against Baylor, home against Arizona and BYU. The question is, can whoever this coach is that's there pull? If this was Luke Fickell, this is an easy over for me, whatever they're at.
Well, this isn't Luke Fickell.
I know. So that's why I'm saying that.
I'm going to say under because Cincinnati just does under all the time.
Even when they get into the college football playoff, they do under. And what was their over? What was the number?
6.5.
6.5. All right.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Next is Utah.
The Utes. Same offensive coordinator, same defensive coordinator for the past 15 years.
Yep. Utah though is up at 7.5. The next one, Utah, Kansas, Iowa State, BYU, Baylor are all at 7.5.
So they get Nico Iamaleava.
Nope, this is not that team.
They get him first week 1 at UCLA.
Sorry, I didn't let you finish.
In the Rose Bowl, and then they home against Cal Poly at Wyoming. Weird schedule for them. And then Texas Tech, and that's when they roll in. They get Colorado, Cincinnati, and Kansas State. I like this over, Micaiah. It's a Utah team. Yes, Old Man Rising.
Kyle Whittingham, Isaac Wilson is coming back. He's got to figure out the interceptions. He was 10 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
But that wasn't an unsure, like, is he not? Will he? Won't he? What's the quarterback room?
Okay. Yeah, I'll go over. Yeah. You talked me into it.
Thanks. That's what I do. That just goes to show you what just sticking with your coach no matter what, when he if you stick with James Franklin, one of these times, a broken clock's right twice a day. So I'd rather have a broken clock that's worth $15,000 than a broken clock that's worth $5,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Kansas had a strong finish last season. They're next, by the way. They're 7.5.
Disappointment was my Jayhawks.
Yeah. I don't have their later schedule, but their out of state are Fresno State, Dude, Wagner,
Kansas,
and I have Missouri.
So Kansas are they still doing a bunch of different locations because their stadium's being worked on?
Yeah,
so that must be the situation.
They're playing at Arrowhead and Kate FC, Kansas City, FC, whatever.
Yeah, the soccer the couple
Yeah.
soccer stadiums that are in the area. So they have Fresno, Wagner, and then at Missouri. And then they only have 2 games listed as away besides Missouri.
Okay.
I don't know how they pulled that off if they did, but they have Kansas State rivalry, OK State, Arizona, Utah, Iowa State, and Utah all listed as home games at the end of the season. That's the end of the season for them.
If Jalen Daniels can stay healthy, 7.5. I mean, I'm thinking 8 wins is very doable. I'll go 8 wins for them.
To me, this is Lance Leipold, I believe. Is that the coach? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's what he has done down there in Lawrence has just been incredible as far as building a culture and specifically building a fan base. So again, it's kind of like it's kind of like TCU. They're a favorite for me for the Big 12 again. We'll see if that's anything, if at all, accurate.
Iowa State is at 7.5, as previously stated. They are taking on Kansas State in Dublin, Ireland.
Yep.
South Dakota, who Iowa State always messes around with South Dakota and some FCS teams and always almost wins. So don't be surprised if or almost loses, I guess I should say. So don't be surprised if that is a close game. And then Iowa and Arkansas State, because Kansas State would be a conference game.
There it is.
So, but they are at 7.5. Kansas State, Matt Campbell, 10th season, and Rocco Becht is returning. He was 11-3 last year, 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns. He's a junior. So what do we
non-conf games, dude?
So what do we think about Iowa State over under 7.5?
They're going to the college football playoff if they win their first 3 games. So to me, it's an over. It's close, but I again, one of these teams is going to have to run the table. I get that this has the most parity, but one of these teams has to run the table.
I think 10-2 on it. I think you're onto something. 10-2. So if they beat Kansas State, which is hard, I think they're beating South Dakota. I think they're beating Iowa. They're and then they're beating Arkansas State. That's 5-0. 6-0. I don't believe in Arizona or Cincinnati or Colorado. Well, I've been over that. BYU and Arizona State and TCU and Kansas. That's their toughest stretch. And then Oklahoma State's, I don't know where they're at. I don't think it'll be 10-2, but I think it's over 7.5. I think it's 8 or maybe even 9 wins on this season.
And so
I'll take the over.
You're taking the over.
Yeah.
By the way, Kansas at Arizona at Iowa State. Don't know what's going on. This is from CBS Sports. I'm trying to get the official athletic conference. Yeah, so they must be back in their stadium.
For which one?
For Kansas.
Okay.
So that schedule, they're not all home games at the end of the season was kind of my point.
Okay.
I thought that was important. So
BYU is next. They're in that clump of 7.5 win over under. Their non-conference is pretty brutal. It is Portland State, Stanford, and at East Carolina. Something to watch out for there. That'll be a sleepy kick. As Herb Street likes to say, Kalani Sitake, 11th season already at BYU. Jake Retzloff, that is BYU, did not start that. That was started by other people on the campus.
Micaiah.
Yeah.
I don't think calling the guy BYU is Jewish people's biggest issue right now.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. He went 10-2 last season as well. BYU, I think they get 3 non-conference wins. I think they're better than Colorado. I think they're better than West Virginia. I think they're better than Arizona. Utah's the Holy War is always in there. Iowa State, I think they're better than Iowa State. Then they have Texas Tech, TCU, Cincinnati. I think they're better than UCF. I think they're better than. And I think they're better than TCU. We'll see if Texas Tech's plan, 10-month-long transfer portal plan, plays off this year. I think they're better than 7.5.
So you're also going over lots of overs, especially for these better teams. And they all have to play each other at some point. I'm assuming.
I understand they all have to play each other, but it helps if you can run your non-con.
Yeah, it really does.
Right.
Who's next?
Next is Baylor. They are the last 7.5 team.
Auburn at SMU, Samford. SAM as in Mike.
Okay.
That's their non-com. First, and they get Arizona State at home. That Arizona State team is going to be the interesting one.
Under 7.5. Because
Yeah.
I think they go 1-2 in their non-con. I think they lose to Auburn and SMU.
I think they lose. Yeah, I don't know about SMU this year. We'll get to them in the ACC, but I don't know about them.
I mean, we'll find out. We'll definitely find out. But I'm going under 7.5 because they were 8-5 last year. And their non-conference is much tougher.
I'm assuming next is ASU.
Texas Tech is actually next.
How many teams are in the Big 12 now?
A lot. There are a lot of teams in the Big 12.
I guess we haven't touched.
So Texas Tech, Kansas State, and Arizona State are all 8.5.
Okay, so let's start with Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Kent State, Oregon State. I think that's probably an over given that non-conf.
Yeah.
So great. Love that. I'm again, Tech is one of those teams that you don't see enough. And so you don't know until you know. Returning
start. They do have a returning. They were 8-5 last year. So asking them if their over under is 8-5 this year. I am going to say the over again because they did so much work in their transfer portal. But yes, I think they're going 3-0 and then they're finding 5 wins in conference.
You said K-State was another one of the teams?
K-State is... yes, K-State is next, so go ahead with them.
So they got that good week 0 game against that fun game against Iowa State, conf game in Ireland. Then they take on North Dakota and Army. Both of those games are at home. They also are away at the rivalry game for Kansas.
I think Kansas State goes under at 8.5. And I also think Arizona State, that gets Northern Arizona at Mississippi State and versus Texas State, which was a 1-point win last year, goes under as well. I think they both go under. Fun fact about the Big 12 champion is one year, the year they win the Big 12 championship, and this is Arizona State, they won a whole bunch of one-score games. The next year, they lose all the same one-score games. So I'm going to say Arizona loses the one-score games this year in heartbreaking fashion and does not go over 8.5 wins. I don't think Kansas State does either. And I like Texas Tech to win the Big 12.
Interesting. You're picking Texas Tech.
I'm picking Texas Tech. Write that down. I don't know where you're. I don't even know where you're.
Top of the pod topic.
I see it. Just right over champion.
I mean, I already put TTU down. Oh no, I didn't. Cool.
Yes, you did. Yeah, right there. Winner, chicken dinner. I love it.
It does help if I actually spell correctly and spell chicken correctly. I think I need to go rehydrate. That's not the right song. This is the right song. I need to go rehydrate. This is an hour and 10 minutes for you guys. You're welcome, you little filthy people. I love you guys.
We'll see you later. Wash your hands, you filthy animals. Bye-bye.